Hey everybody, China did it again. So yesterday's video, I said China was putting downward pressure on our market. The Hang Seng was off over 5%. What happened overnight from Tuesday to Wednesday? The Hang Seng, Chinese market, up 9%. Chinese tech companies led the way. Boom! Our futures are green by 400 points. Tech futures are green. So here's the thing about tech, right? NASDAQ, I mentioned this in an earlier video, and if you missed my earlier videos, just go back and watch. I mentioned 7 times this year the NASDAQ has had movements of 3% either up or down. Last year, 5 times total. So what would my thought process be today? Well, the NASDAQ's up like over 1.2% pre-market or something to that extent. Would not surprise me if today is a strong day, up 3%. So you have to look at the psychology behind trading. The people buying the market yesterday, right? Wall Street was bearish. Let's get into Wall Street. Sentiment on Wall Street, right? 33% of people on Wall Street think the U.S. economy is going into recession. 50% of people on Wall Street think the European Union and their economies are going into recession. So who's buying, right? I'm a contrarian. I'm buying. Who else? Alert, alert, alert. Short covering. Everybody that rode those stocks down 40%, 30%, 30 at 5. I mean, all the people that were making money shorting, Blink, BLNK, heavily shorted, right? Look at the pop on that one. I'm going to name some specific stocks. So let's talk about some stocks with demand, okay? You've got, and I'm going to pull up a chart in a minute. You've got Dow stocks like Carnival Cruise Lines, Pfizer, because COVID might be spiking again in China. UAL, right? Airlines. You look at Wynn Casino, so beat up. It's got to be above where I don't even know where Wynn is. Let's get to that later. Tech stocks, okay? One tech stock that I'm going to mention, Jim Cramer likes. I hate Jim Cramer, but it's DOCS. You'll see demand. I'm telling everybody, you look at the 1-month chart, you look at inflow and volume, and you'll see it picking up, even in this tough market. NVIDIA, and then you've got Bitcoin stocks, right? So you got EBON, China related as well, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if EBON pops. Riot, Mara, MSTR, Bitcoin reasoning. I think Bitcoin's going to pop. Now, the ceiling on Bitcoin, where it'll find some resistance, and somebody asked me to talk about crypto, so I'll just talk about Bitcoin specifically because the rest of crypto tends to follow, is 44,000. So it's not going to surprise me if we touch 44,000 in the next, let's say 1 week, okay? Maybe sooner. The point is at 44, it might go back down or it might break through. And then social media stocks. I mentioned Facebook at 186. Buy. Where's it this morning? Probably like 192, 193 probably. Snapchat, Snap, Twitter, energy stocks. We all know I like CCJ. In fact, I entered into a position with CCJ yesterday for my small account challenge. And I gave my reasoning. I said I looked at the chart. As long as there's some demand towards the end of the week, CCJ will be 27. Well, it was $23 at the time. It's 25 now, so I'm expecting 27. What else we got? CPI number. We'll skip all that. So let me pull up that chart I was going to show you guys. Let me just see if I can get that up. Share screen. Boom. Okay, so here's Carnival Cruise Lines, okay? CCL. So let me tell you guys exactly what I'm seeing. I mean, we all saw the bottom here. You know what? Even when February, middle of February, end of February was going down, they started buying this stock. Demand, which is greater than the outflow days, right? And then they sold it off 5 straight days. No one wants to cruise. Russia's invading Ukraine, blah, 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 blah. And then what do you see at the bottom? What people considered the bottom, right? It was like $15 flat. They're buying it on outflow days, right? Look at the outflow days. Is anybody selling? Not really. You see how small that is, the volume? Volume, 31 million. Volume, 28 million. Inflow day, let's see. Oh, it's more than double. That tells you there's demand. Okay, same with yesterday. So no, it doesn't surprise me. Carnival's going up. Let's look at another Dow stock, UAL, United Airlines, okay? And we're going to see a similar chart. And this is what I'm showing you guys. So people are waiting for the market to capitulate. It's not going to capitulate. Why? Because they're buying up these stocks that have been thrown and shit on and thrown up on. And here it is, demand. Small volume. So we can eliminate these 3 days. And then it's back yesterday with demand. If we see a day like this, United Airlines will be back at $41. And if you got in, what was it? It was like 31, right? Yeah. So you're talking about a 30% gain. I mean, we're close there. It wouldn't surprise me if it hits $41 today. So you're talking about gains of like 30% over a couple of days. We used to see that when like stocks like Roblox went down. So let's talk about the SPY. Let me bring up the SPY. Might as well tell you guys where resistance is. Which I do every day on Discord. So I mentioned the key numbers and you guys can write them down. So let's look at the 1 month of the SPY again. All right. Now you'll notice there wasn't crazy volume yesterday. So what is that? Let's just make sure the chart's up there. Nope. Of course, it's not up there with me. There's the chart. Much better now. So what I'm going to point out is the first thing I'm going to tell you is first, you could be cautious when you look at the SPY because there still are non-believers. Because I would have expected a volume day of 145 million yesterday. Instead, we got a volume day of 106. So that's like 40% lower than my expectations. Now, if it's a low volume day, 117, 114, 106 again, it definitely could be green. And we definitely could push probably around 433. Now, why do I mention 433? Because, and I'll get back to the screen where I can actually talk to you. Here are the floors and ceilings for the SPY. Now I'm going to explain a floor and a ceiling. Floor means you have support. Anytime something hits the floor, it bounces off. Ceiling, anytime something gets to the ceiling, it can't break through, so it goes back down. So here are the SPY floors and ceilings, and we'll start at the basics. 410 all the way on the bearish side. 410, 414, 419, 420. Okay, we're past that already. Then you got 424, 425. Then you have 430. Now, we're opening with futures green above 430, but understand, even if there's a sell-off at market open, we go back to 429, something to that extent, you have to say to yourself, okay, if the market continues to sell off, the SPY could go down to 424. So you have strategy, or 425 actually. Then you say, if Matt's right and the next ceiling level is 433, 434, and we sell off at market open, the SPY goes to 430, but you're bullish, like I'm sort of bullish, right? And you say, okay, at 430 or 429, I'm going to buy because I think you're going to get that bounce. Remember, we generally see a sell-off after the market opens because market sentiment. So many people are like, oh, the market's going to shit on itself. Oh, it's going to capitulate. Oh, it's going to collapse. So what do you see? Always at open, especially when futures are green like they are. People are selling and taking profit at open. I'm out of here. Sold, took profit, 18%, 16%. If I was in NEO, shit, even though it's probably going to go higher, I'm taking 20% off this morning. In fact, I have a stock, FUTU, F-U-T-U, where I bought in, it went down. I bought some more. It went down. I bought some more. I already sold pre-market this morning. Stock was up like 39% pre-market. It was up above $34 a share. All right, so that's the SPY. Let's talk about the UVXY. I know you guys, well, I get special requests to talk about the UVXY. Some people like when I talk about it. However, when I make postings on Webull, people ask me, hey, dude, you made a posting on Webull. How come it's blocked? And I say, it's blocked because anybody that thinks the opposite of me just reports it as like a fraudulent comment and it gets blocked immediately. So it's hard to share with like 13,000 people there. But let's bring up, okay, UVXY. We're going to have to go back. Let's just bring up a 3-month chart to show everybody what's going on. All right, volume. I look at the largest volume. It tells me what's coming. So I could go back here and say, even as it was going up, they were selling it. So it didn't surprise me within a week that it went down to this level again. Okay, huge buying, makes sense. It's going up. Selling was less. Huge buying again. And this chart definitely looks like it's going higher. However, it looks like it peaked out here. You could see on, what day is this? March 4th and probably March 8th, right? Volume was greater. Outflow, even though it was going up. So they were selling into the spike. Now, you still have people, psychology trading, that say, oh, no, this is going to spike higher. The markets are going to throw up. I already said that. Most of Wall Street, over 50%, probably think the market's going to tank. That's why there's so much money on the side. So those people say, oh, it's going to W up here, and we're going to see $24 on the UVXY. So, yeah, if the market throws up and the SPY goes back to 415, you will see $23 on the UVXY. But in my opinion, this guy right here, that's not happening. So one of these days, and it could be today where the market's strong, you're going to see volume of 150 million compared to 63 million. And when you have 150 million compared, and it's an outflow day, you will see this drop probably to this level right here. Probably a little lower, actually. What would this level be? No, probably somewhere between this. Okay, 1788 and 1723. All right, so you guys wanted a prediction for me. Where are we right now? 1893. Okay, so I'm saying it's going down at least another dollar from here. So I'm going to tell you today that I believe, in my opinion, the UVXY will go down 10% today, if not a little more. Again, it's only down 5% pre-market. So people think they missed the boat. No, what happens? Okay, so I already told you there might be a market sell-off at open. So when the market sells off, this spikes. So right now, it's at 1892. So we'll just make up our own chart here. 1892 will be right about here on the cursor, okay? If you guys see this little cursor here. So we're going to open here. So there's no doubt we'll get a little bounce. Maybe it'll bounce up to here, 1920, 1930, even 1940. That's giving you time to enter. If you think the UVXY is going to drop 10% and we go to 1940, it goes from being down 5% pre-market only to being down about 2.5%. So when it's down 2.5%, rather than thinking you missed the boat, if you believe the market's going to get stronger, you'll buy puts. Now, I had a shitload of puts that I sold yesterday at $18.95. And then it spiked back up to 20. I'm like, oh, I did so good. Even though I thought it was going down, I took profit. I wish it opened at 1997 today, because what would I do? I would buy more puts there. So again, I'm not buying puts at 1891. I'm going to wait for the market to dump. Hopefully it opened, dumps a little. This spikes 1930, 1940. Now, again, if I'm incorrect and the market just dumps, the UVXY could go boom, 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 boom. So I take a very small position at first. So let's just go right into a lesson, then we'll answer a question or two. Here is the lesson. And I told this to my Discord people yesterday. When we buy options, when you buy options, and I'll talk specifically to you, when you're buying an option, if today is Wednesday and you only have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days left till expiration, you better make sure you're freaking right. Meaning you don't buy at 9:30 in the morning think, I'm going to be right. You wait till it's confirmed by 10:30, 10:45, 11 o'clock, and then you look for entry. Now, if you want to get it earlier, then you've got to give yourself more time. If you want to buy at 9:30, you're like, yeah, the market's going to be strong, but I need to be safe. Then you'll buy out at least an extra week. So you have 5 trading days next week, 3 today. That's 8 days. That should be enough time if you're correct. Now, I'll give you an example. Robinhood, right? I liked Robinhood. I thought it was going to $14. It was like $11.69. Man, it went down to $10.20 first. It went to $10.20 from $11.69, probably even from $12. So that's like what? 18%. I mean, so again, crazy. I still like it. I think it's why I think there's demand for that one. So there are other 4-letter stocks with demand as well. You know what? Geez, I'll work on that another time. But I do have good news. Small account challenge, CCJ pre-market up 2.56%. So let's see how close we are to 27. 25.50. And again, I mentioned this one on the small account. I mean, look at this chart. I mean, you guys can probably see that. Great, we got in yesterday morning. Does that look like the bottom to you? It would be right around here. There it is. Looks like the bottom to me. Good call, small account. All right, we got time for 1 or 2 questions. Just a reminder, small account, anybody following the challenge had $1,000 up to $2,100, got crushed 2 consecutive days down to 50. I don't give up on shit. Back to 450, back to 150. I put in $300 as any small account would. Oh shit, I'm beat up. I just can't ride the same position. Well, added 300, so then I was at 450. Again, 1,300 invested. I'm still looking to make it back to 13, and then from 13 to 25,000. All right, why are Chinese stocks just crushing it this morning? They're crushing it this morning because they were so beat up. But you have to understand, Chinese companies, Chinese government, it could totally be manipulation. The Chinese stock market, the Hang Seng was down 5.76% on Monday. So the Chinese government has a lot of money. They don't want to make it look like their economy is weak. Their country is weak. Now, it went down because there were lockdowns in Shenzhen and Tesla's closing a plant for 2 days. And that's like the Palo Alto of China. So it's like the tech world of China. That's why tech stocks were beat up and COVID restrictions. And then they're saying, okay, well, what if they close Macau? Then you got Las Vegas Sands and Wynn are going to go down. So again, that was the thought process. And then Chinese stocks, 9% went up overnight. Some tech stocks went up 15, 20%. Well, that's what you're seeing. Now, I happen to think it's the Chinese government supporting the market, but I don't give a shit. If China wants to throw money, just like our government did with the Fed, right? Fed has $1.7 trillion in our market. Fed's meeting today, 2 o'clock, the notes come out. We're expecting 25 basis point increase. They already told us that. Now, what people are expecting or listening for, right, is for them to say, now, the last time Powell came on, he was like 3 weeks ago, it's only going to be 25 basis points. They don't do that shit. They don't tell you in advance, it's only going to be this. So that was kind of surprising, but that is what I'm expecting. When they come out today and say 25, here's what we're seeing in the market. Here's what we're thinking going into next month, right? Because people are looking for 5 to 7 rate increases this year. Now, the Fed needs to increase the interest rates to prevent us from going into recession. That's a simple fact. The interest rate needs to be close to 2.5%. And this morning, the 10-year is around, I'm going to say 2.17. Always good to make a prediction before you check. That way you see how close your guesses are. 2.177. So yeah, anytime you're doing with a stock, if the market's up 400 points, you go, my stock should be up 86 cents. And when it's only up 60 cents, you know there's not enough demand. Or if it's up $1.20, you say, shit, they're really buying my stock. That's a good thing. All right, so that's it. Win calls. Yeah, if you got in yesterday or the day before, or if you can get a good position. So, okay, you know what? Let's bring up Win real quick. I'll do one more thing for you guys because I love teaching and I want to show people what I see. So we're going to look at Win. Okay, yeah, I mean, $70, anything under 70 was great. Now, would I want to chase up 5%? No, but there's a chance Win goes up 10% today, the same way that UVXY is down 5%. So yeah, actually the 5-day chart showed. Okay, so heavy outflow. So yeah, I wouldn't be buying Win yet, especially with Macau potentially being on a lockdown. I do think there is demand, but I'm looking at the volume here and it's still huge outflow, a little inflow yesterday that pushed it. Doesn't take much to push the stock. So no, I mean, right now I wouldn't chase Win and I would stay away from it. But yeah, let's have a killer day, everybody. Oh, if you like this, look at my video from yesterday, man. I spoke about what was forcing the market down. China. Okay. So I'm there. You just need to review. Even if you look at videos a couple of days ago, they are accurate and they help you see what I'm seeing. And then you fast forward to today and you go, okay, well, he said this, it's here. And now Shopify. I said Shopify, we're going to short it to $500. It was $550, it was $576. It went up to $594 the day that I said I was going to short it, right? I said, look for the best entry. From $594, I think it went to like $514 a couple of days ago, or even yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that. It's a major 15% drop. So again, if you're late to the game, if you're early to the game, these videos make sense. If I say I like something and it's off 20%, damn, that's a good entry. If I say I hate something and it's up 20%, you go, man, this dude hated it here. He probably hates it even more here. So just add shit to your watch list. Have a great day of trading, everybody. And I'll see you guys later on my Discord.